Hey guys, I'm Kevin Watson here with Churchill Mortgage, and I'm here with my friend Jared Peters with Richland Real Estate. And Jared is a property manager, and of course I've been doing mortgages for 30 years this year. Kind of crazy.
That's pretty wild. I remember saying that.
In this market. And Jared and I were talking, and I was telling him about this special loan that we have for investors. And it's called a DSCR loan. And the DSCR loan is good for investors because of many reasons, but we'll explain that and kind of talk about that. So Jared, you were interested in that and you thought that was pretty cool. And so what that is, quickly, is it stands for debt service coverage ratio. So what happens when we do a loan for a investment property, we are going to start with the appraisal. We'll have an appraisal done on the property. The appraiser will go in and do a schedule of rent. A schedule of rent will be done where he or she will go out and search for rental properties that are like that one and what they are renting for, and then come back and put it together in a schedule of rent and come up with an average rent. So let's just say in our example that the average rent on this property is $2,500. It'll make it kind of easy for math.
I like simple math, yeah.
Yes, me too. And so if we use that $2,500, the DSCR loan says that we are going to only look at the property rent schedule and see how and the value of the home, and we're going to go by those two factors for approval on the loan. Now the borrower, who's the investor, has to have decent credit scores. You got to be over 700, and you have to put at least 15% down in some scenarios, but as much as 25% down possibly, depending on some factors. But from 15 to 25% down. So they've got to have some skin in the game. They've got to have good credit, and they have to also have some reserves. Okay, up to 6 to 12 months of reserve money. It could be held in retirement. It could be held in cash. It could be held in other things like that. Okay, so those are some of the factors. But if those things happen, you're approved. No tax returns, no verification of job, no verification of income. You're approved. And it's based on the house and the rent that it comes in for. So when Jared and I started talking about this, you were interested and you thought, wow, this could be something really good for my investors.
My ears quite perked up when I heard that. Especially in this new market that we're going to be coming into, we have to be really creative when it comes to our financing, especially especially when we're going to have properties that, if you're an investor and you have the ability to acquire properties in this market, it's going to be like fish in a barrel. Yeah. 2008, 9, 10, 11, those people that were able to buy properties bought them at a huge discount. And if we have opportunities like Kevin has, it's going to be a really good opportunity for you to acquire the asset, have it, potentially appreciate in value. Obviously, we can't guarantee anything, but in order to acquire the asset at a tremendous discount is going to be pretty advantageous if you want to invest in the real estate market here in Nashville. And where we can come in, since we are a property management company, we deal with rental properties all day long, so we have a really good pulse on what that property is going to rent for. It's a lot of real estate agents.
So you could actually tell us before we actually pay for an appraiser about what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So see, teaming up together, that's going to be really good for our customers because we can kind of get an idea from you, hey, this is about what we're looking at, and then we can pretty much tell you where your payments are going to run, and then you'll know before you pay $750 for an appraisal.
Amen.
I like that.
It's because, and any real estate agent can take an investor out there and find a rental property, but it's going to take the experts to tell you what that property will realistically rent for.
Yeah.
And again, you don't want to be spending money on appraisals. You don't want to be spending money on, just wasting time in general, buying in an area that you're not going to be interested in, things like that. It's going to be really important to team up with the right people that can find those rental properties for you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And you said during that time where people were buying properties, I know they're still buying properties, but that was sort of a surge,
Yeah.
right? And we bought a property in 2013. So right around that arena, happened to be in Franklin, Tennessee.
Yep.
And we bought it for $345,000. It was a 3,000 square foot home, all brick, big backyard, great school zone.
We're checking a lot of boxes there, Kevin.
Yeah, and you could walk to downtown Franklin. But it was in a subdivision with a pool.
Oh, yeah.
So it was one of the last subdivisions before you get to downtown Franklin. And so we bought it and we renovated it a little bit because it had been built a little bit earlier. And we had no idea that fast forward to today, we're still renting that home out.
Yeah.
And it's cash flowing very, very well.
I bet. I really bet.
Yeah. And we don't owe much on it anymore. And the cool thing is, I believe it's probably worth about $870 now. So you're right. Now is that time again.
Yeah.
Where things, when mortgage rates are not low, then the majority of the population are out. They're not buying real estate. The smart investors, though, are buying. I always like to quote Warren Buffett. When people are getting greedy, I'm scared, I'm out. When people are getting out, I'm getting greedy, I'm going in. And so I believe right now, the smart investors are buying these properties knowing that we're going to hit another one of those.
Yep.
Right? And they're going to be able to take advantage of that increase. And this loan is perfect for that because it helps them to be able to cash flow, right? And be able to do that. And even if they're not cash flowing, this is the craziest thing about this loan. Even if they're not cash flowing at first, when you look at all the businesses all around the country, most businesses do not make money the first couple of years. Why would you think your little investment business would immediately, right? You're going to have to put some investments into it. So even if it's not cash flowing, the loan can be approved up to 75%
Wow.
of the rent.
Wow. That's huge.
Which will help a lot of people because sometimes they're not cash flowing today.
Right.
Right? But in that cash flow formula, we're not looking at the tax breaks.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Yep.
So we can get our friend Marcy in here, who's with Gray Space Financial, and she's a CPA, did a great job on my tax returns, by the way. We can get her in here, and she will tell you that you get a 27-year depreciation on that asset, right? So any of the income you make, it's basically you write it all off. You don't even have to take it off. And the big thing, the A word, the appreciation. We're not factoring in the appreciation of the property.
Yep.
That's the big thing.
Yep.
Right?
100%.
I went from 345 in our example, a live true example that I'm blessed to still have, to let's say 850, right? So we did a $500,000 swing, right? In 13 years, 13 years, and that was my real growth.
Yeah.
Did I make money on the cash flow? Yeah, I make some.
Sure.
But honestly, you're probably going to put that back into maintenance of the house and stuff like that. But your real gain is your tax break and your appreciation. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're absolutely right. I was going to, definitely was going to mention that. A lot of people don't. No, definitely not. But a lot of people don't think about the tax incentives of owning real estate, and that definitely needs to be part of your calculations. Appreciation, obviously, and the other thing is, Middle Tennessee, especially during the 2008, we didn't get hit like the rest of the country did.
Right.
We have, I've always called Nashville kind of the Los Angeles of the South.
Yeah.
We have a lot of different industries, everything from medical, but and the corporate side of things, but also we have the entertainment value of it, and we're also centrally located.
We have automotive.
Automotive, even.
Automotive.
And we have no state income tax here. We have cheap utilities compared to the rest of the country, thanks to the TVA, you know. So we have a lot of really good aspects that can help insulate the cost of an economic downturn when it comes to finding rental properties, but also hiring a property manager to manage your property is really important as well, because it's not as simple as filling the vacancy and collecting a check.
No.
You're dealing with the
Believe
emotions.
Me, I've property managed for 20 years, and I know
it
is not.
We could literally do a reality TV show about it. It's quite entertaining, the stories that we have from over the years. But hiring a property management company is going to be very important as well. You need someone in there that's going to handle the security deposits correctly, who's going to field the maintenance calls, who's going to hold the tenant accountable for any damages that they did above normal wear and tear. The big one that people run into is during the move-out time, when you have to charge against the security deposit.
Yes.
And managing a property can be really easy until that point. Once a tenant moves out, then you've got to charge.
Yes.
Well, how do you charge? It's on a depreciation schedule. You can't charge them 100% of the damage. So having us to actually help you navigate through that kind of stuff.
I love that. You're right.
Speaking of tax benefits, it's a tax write-off to have your property managed.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I can't tell you how many times it gets down to that last part. And if you really don't know what you're doing, if you're just getting into this, even more important to have a property manager. And once you get into it and you get going, you realize how much more you need a property manager. You know? So you need one when you're starting, you need one when you're ending. And the thing that I love about that is that you have the experience.
Too much.
And so, guys, experience is so important. One of my favorite sayings is a man with experience is never at the mercy of a man with a theory. Right? Because, boy, experience is a great lesson
100%
learned, a great teacher. And so I would highly recommend using Jared and working with him. Some of you are already doing that and confirming that, but look into this DSCR loan with us. You're welcome to communicate to me. We're going to give you some information on how to get to us by messaging us or smoke signals or text or
carrier pigeons.
However you want to get to us, we will take that communication, but we'll get that over to you. And I just wanted to thank you, Jared, for being here.
Thank you.
I think that was exciting, and hopefully we can get some people that we can help them build some wealth in the next decade.
Let's build some wealth. I like that.
Let's do it. All right. Good seeing you.
Thanks again, Kevin.
Take care.